Okay, yesterday I was showing this electrically powered um, gizmodo. I call it. I call all these things beautiful art gizmodo. And today I'm gonna make a handheld uh, widget. Let's call it. So you get two of these pieces. One of them will have a hole right there in the center, and one of them will have this little shaft sticking up. You need to put those together like that. So line them up. Make sure you don't break off that little peg. And you want to make sure that the teeth are with a gap, not tooth next to the tooth, but this gap. Do you see the gap in there? Essential that you know that. Okay. The next thing you do is you take this bottom piece and you start every other. So you don't put in two of them next to each other. For now, you're gonna just put these little gears in on the same spot. So if this one is the first one before that one, and say is here, and so on and so forth. Now the other thing you want to know is that do you see when the gear has this little lip, and that lip will be on this one facing up, so the gear is touching the bottom. Then the next thing you do is you take the two pieces and gently put it in. Just make sure that there isn't any other debris because the gears are very precise, and this whole thing, uh, you know, has to be. If you get some kind of a fuzz between, it will break one of these or jam it up. Okay, so now I have this flush, right? Okay. Now I'm going to take these pieces, and this time I'm going to flip it over so the flat part is facing the ceiling, and then that little neck on the gear is facing the floor. Okay, and that you're going to put every other just like the previous one, except this time you go to the right side, and you just keep doing that. I printed some extra of these because the gears, because if I want to make another one, I just want to have enough. Okay, and the last one. So now, if you were to move this bottom piece, this gear with your fingernail, like I'm doing, you should see that the uh, top piece is moving as well as the bottom piece at the same time. Okay, and there's a little fuzz in here. Let me get a tweezers. Let me get the fuzz off. It's not very big, but it's big enough for the gears that it jams them up, or it's very difficult to move it. So and this gear here is not seated right. So let me just wiggle it a little bit. There we go. They have to be all flush, okay, with the peg that or the shaft that's sticking up from this blue piece. Okay. Now you would think at this point that that you will put this ring on, but you don't. Um, what you need to do is you need to print the inner piece, and then there is a face piece. So it would be this piece here, and then this there is a yellow piece in here that will stick up, and then you can put the fascia on it. Okay. So for the next video, I'm gonna show you how the other two parts go in here, and I'm printing it as we speak. So hopefully that it will make it fine. I'm looking over there on the screen; it's printing good. I'm very impressed with this bamboo printer, and I had yesterday and today a couple times. I don't know if it didn't level right or what it did, but it was not sticking, and I don't know what's going on. So I take the plate off, and I use an isopropyl alcohol 100%, and then I cleaned the plate, and it still didn't. But then I just went back in the software in the Bamboo Studio, back to the beginning, and then redone it and making sure that I'm using ABS, by the way, for the gears. This does not have to be ABS. This can be PLA. But these gears, I personally prefer that they are a little tougher because they will be used more than the big wheel. So that I'm going to go ahead and pause for now, and I'm going to, after this pause, tape the rest of it. So here's the second part of this video. I printed that ring. This one was earlier already. And then this one here, which is the fascia. Uh, the I put this very carefully in. Make sure that these are all flush. And then the other thing we want to make sure is that this gear is not interfering with that gear. Okay, so if they are sitting a little bit higher, for instance, this secondary one or first one, if you go counterclockwise, then it will interfere with this, which will lock up the mechanism. It won't work at all. So, okay. The other thing is that I just purchased many different sizes of screws, and thanks God I did have it because these screws are essential to hold this ring in place. So, I'm going to put this on the side, line up the holes with these holes, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, so there's 4 holes. You have to line them up, and when you drop it in, uh, you can move this little bit up and down. And let's see, where is the hole? I think it's right there. Okay, so now leave it down. I'm going to use, let's say, this size of a screw. So, but it's a countersink screw. Here, let me show it to you like that. Okay, and I magnetize the front of the screwdriver. Now you don't want to over tighten these. You just want to tighten it in so this stays flush, but you don't also want to have it sticking out, because if you do, then it's not going to work. All right, let's grab 2 more screws. Okay, so I'm going to cap this box of screws because I don't want to spill them all over. And now I should be able to rotate this. There we go. But it is not rotating easy. So I might have to take it apart and put some lubricant, because this is not rotating as easy as I expected. Let me working it a little bit in. Let's see if sometimes you work it and it loosens up after so long. It's already better. Now it's harder. So don't like this. I do not like this. I was hoping that this would work better, but it isn't working better. I was hoping that I can make this basically into a handheld one, so you can, but it's it's just this just really really tight. And this outside ring needs something, and then this is too thin of a ring for to hold it. So this is um, not behaving the way I expected. So I can fix the outside with a rubber band that would give me a better grip. But there's no way I can put rubber band on this narrow of a tank. So that's disappointing. All right, let's lubricate it. Let's see if we lubricate this, would it work better? Okay. All right. Let's see. Somewhere here I have a. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I have this lubricant. I've had this for a long time. You don't use much. You just need little tiny amount. So uh, I can't even remember what it says. It's in a white lithium grease, multi-purpose. Okay, we'll go ahead and do that. Now let's get some paper towel, because whenever you have grease, it's going to get all over. And a Q-tip, and unscrew this. Okay, now let's go ahead and apply some. I probably would like to maybe grease up the shafts. Okay, for that I need tweezer. Now let's see. Yeah, it's jammed up pretty good. Maybe what I'll do is I lift this whole thing, this entire ring, and kind of work it a little bit at a time. As I said, it's really tight design. And I'm going to go ahead and get some lubricant, put it on the Q-tip, and then I'm going to grease the bottom of the wheel, and so you can see it what I'm doing. I'm not trying to get too much to the ends here. The main thing I want to do is the gear, but I also want to have a little bit of lubricant on this plastic part. So then I wipe it off like that. I don't know if this is going to help at all. Let's hope it will. Oh, got half of it done. This reminds me of the joke that why did God not build us with 4 arms? And the answer is because we would create things that would require eight arms or 8 hands, which is probably true because that's what we do. Get some more grease. And this is what I sometimes hesitate to record things like the assembly because uh, you sometimes have to take it apart a few times and not just once. And then what happens is that you get all this time you watching somebody doing this painful step, like right now you're watching me doing that. Okay, so I don't think that we need to lubricate this part, but I will, just for the heck of it, just in case. I definitely don't want to have it too far out here. Okay, so I'll set this aside. And now what I want to do is I want to lubricate these smaller gears. So I have to take them off first, which is not as easy done as it sounds. Let's see if it works better this way. There we go. I started greasing that up, so I'll come back to it. Okay, so these are the ones that go downward, these are the ones go upward. Okay, all right. Okay. There's grease is sticky, yeah. Cleaning off the. Okay, so now we'll take the Q-tip again. You just have to keep smoothing it up because it tries to untangle. And we're gonna go ahead and lubricate the little studs. I'm debating if I shouldn't put a little lubricant And here in the center, and maybe even on this edge, because that's where they meet. Okay, so basically I've put a little bit of lubricant on this ring because that touches that ring, and maybe what I should do is put a little tiny amount of lubricant here on the inside. So let me go ahead and reassemble those two things so they're not going to be in my way. There we go. And it's it it feels much smoother now. Okay. Now I'm going to take some more of this lubricant, and I'm going to put a little bit here because this stuff moves on and it's touching this part of the ring. Go ahead and put a grease on these studs as well. I'm putting also a little bit of grease on this part because that's where the teeth are grinding on. All right, let's go ahead and grease these guys up. It's a little bit more grease. Okay, apply it here and here. And let's put a little bit on these shafts. Okay. Looks like we got, I know I'm getting off the camera. My back's killing me, so I have a hard time extending my arm. Okay. So now I greased up these, greased up this part as well. So I'm going to go ahead and drop it in. Okay. And now I'm going to take these guys and okay, let's put all the gears on this side. There we go, so you guys can see what I'm doing. So now the gear that has the flat part goes into the first one of these little shafts, and there we go. Not quite. There we go now. So it's not touching, uh, the gear on the top here, the big gear. Now the one with the little area here removed. That goes downwards now. So the flat part is facing the ceiling. There we go. The first one on the left side goes right here. And it's not quite sitting in yet. It's still not good. Okay, why is that? There we go. Oh, it's so tight. That's why it's not working as good. Just too tight. And the last gear. Okay, so they should be all flush. Check it with your fingers. And I'm going to go one more time uh, with the Q-tip. Get some grease. And I want to put grease on these guys. And they'll work himself in. So everybody's going to be hopefully happy. Of course, you can skip through a lot of my video here, so feel free to do so if you're not interested in this part, of course, because it is boring. All right, and last gear, last set of gears. Okay. All right, now we're going to slide this ring onto those gears. Now it's a very snug design. I wish there was a little bit more play because it's really difficult to guide it in, especially once you have all those gears in place. There we go. Okay, now they are all still not smooth. It's not as smooth as I would like. I don't know. I might redesign this or I'm sorry, print it and use a smaller, maybe shrink it 1%, and that would make the gears and stuff a little bit more loose, especially these ones right here. Okay, and I'm gonna, since I've been greasing everything up, just gonna go ahead and grease up the bottom of this. Because there is going to be a little friction. Okay, let's hope this is the last thing I need to do. So this is where the screws go in, right here, in the middle of this oval shaped thing. And this oval shaped piece in here on the end basically matches that. So there we go. Let's go ahead and put these 4 screws in place. Don't over tighten those because of the it would create friction, even more friction. And so I just want to make sure that this top part is, when you put your finger, that the screw is all the way in, but not sticking out any at all. So once I hit the bottom, I backtrack a little bit. So tight, and then half a turn to loosen up. This is all greased up, so let's see, make sure that we don't have any grease places we don't need grease. All right, goes to the garbage. Let's see if this works better. I'm gonna go ahead and loosen it up a little bit. It is that grease has helped. That grease has helped. Well, maybe it's working. Maybe. I'm gonna put feet on the bottom uh, with silicone little feet, so that way you can put it on the table and then uh, dial this red ring. So it might work fine. Alrighty, guys, that should do it. Unfortunately, it took a long time with the video, but as I said, you can always skip and not worry about anything else. And then here's the final product. It's working, and I think I'm going to just leave it the way it is. And somebody's going to get it for a birthday Friday. Alrighty. You have a great day. Give me thumbs up, and or have a fantastic day even. Better yet. Well, I'm going to add this little piece. I put the little rubber band on the red ring, and on the blue ring on the bottom, I put these feet. They're made out of silicone. They come on sheets like this. I buy them on Amazon, and they are self-sticking, so you don't have to worry about putting an adhesive or anything. I just put 4 in 4 corners. I might add in 4 more, and later on maybe it'll work better. But if you put this down like that, and then use your both hands pushing down on this red ring, then it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. And you can go around and around and around, or you can just go like that, or you can hold it and then use that ring where I'm holding the rubber band basically. Okay. This time, have a fantastic day.